Hey guys, how's it going? So apologies for not putting out a video yesterday. I did have intentions to, however, I was busy with my kids' first day back at school, and I had a mate ask me if I could help him out with some decorating, and then I had a game of Lord of the Rings in the afternoon, which ran through to the evening, and then it was just too late to do anything. So I do apologise. However, excuse me, I do have these to show off today. So as you can see, I've finished one squad of tactical space marines for my Shattered Legion, as well as a 5-man Cataphractii Terminator squad. So I'm very happy with that. I did run out of null oil as I was on my last Terminator, so I will need to get more. But yeah, I was gutted about that because I had plans to paint up the Contempt to Dreadnought, but alas, it wasn't to be. I do have a mate who's offered me some null oil, so hopefully I can get my hands on that in either today or tomorrow, some point this week, and then crack on again with painting all this stuff up. But that's not what we're talking about today, of course. We're talking about these. So yeah, I'm really happy with how they've turned out. To begin with, you know, a disclaimer, I suppose, or an admission. I'm not the best painter in the world. I don't think I'm the best painter in the world. I know I'm not the best painter in the world, but I paint to the standard that makes me happy. And I guess at the end of the day, that's all you can really do. I never like to criticise anyone else's paintwork, because that's not fair. Not everyone's amazing at painting. Some people are better than others. Some people just have a natural flair for it, others have to really work at it. So I'm never going to criticise anyone else's paintwork, because like I say, I know I'm not the best, and it would be unfair of me to judge anyone else to a standard I wouldn't hold myself to. So there's that, just to begin with. And but likewise, if you do want to put some comments or, you know, constructive criticism in the comments, by all means, that's more than welcome. I'm not saying I'm too delicate. I'm gonna bend and break if you say, well, perhaps if you just try doing this, if you guys want to leave something like that, by all means, go ahead. I'm very happy to have that. I just, like I say, I won't personally judge other people because I know I'm not the best painter. Anyway, enough of that. So here we are. So I'll only have a look at a couple of them. You can probably see fairly well what we've got going on here. I've also tried to put them out in a little sort of diorama. Oh, excuse me, I just done a burp. I keep burping on camera. That's not good. I've just had 3 hot cross buns. They were delicious. Anyway, enough about my breakfast. So yeah, so I'll go through sort of really how I painted them up. So it all began with this gentleman over here, who I will just grab quickly and show off here. So this was the first Space Marine I painted when I knew that I wanted to do a Shattered Legion, or at least Imperial Fists. And he was painted up using 3 or more layers of yellow. Oh, I can't remember what yellow it was. I do apologise. I think it was what Bad Moon yellow used to be, or is now, sorry. And so I painted. I found yellow really difficult to paint by hand. Really difficult for some reason. It just you have to go on with such thin layers, and you have to build it up. And I just found it became very time consuming, and slightly costly as well, because I was using up so much paint. I was having to do 3 or more layers on each model, and I've got 10 guys in just one squad. It's going to quickly use up your paint, or that's what I found anyway. So yeah, so I painted him up. I painted him up yellow. The helmet is red, of course, with the white stripe running down it. I just love the artwork that shows that off. I just think it looks great, so I had to do it. And then there's a lot of bronze on there. I don't know why I was attracted to bronze, but bronze is sort of used for edging here and there. And then, of course, your bolt gun metal, dry brushed over it, as well as a bit of bronze dry brush over it as well, and then null oil. And that's it. There's nothing fancy with me. I don't try to do anything overly technical with my guides. I just like to get them to, I guess, battlefield standard, I guess you call it. I rely a lot on washes, maybe a bit too much, to bring out, you know, sort of that detail that's lost maybe. I don't really tend to highlight that much because I like my figures very grimy and gritty. I don't like to really have any sort of bright colours jump out at me. Which again, I mean, it's a hard one. I look at other people's models and I think they look absolutely fantastic, but when I try to replicate those results, I'm never as happy, you know, with them as I am when I look at other people's. So I just paint them like this. And like I say, I love painting grimy, dirty figures. I think Space Marines look so cool when their armor looks battered and dirty and damaged. So yeah, so I'll now move on to the other ones, because the reason I showed that one off first, this one over here that I just had, was because the way he was painted was different, so he does stand out. Now, with all the rest of these, and with the remaining Space Marines I have to paint for my Imperial fists, they were all used, I used a spray. Basically, I used the primary colour, which is yellow, of course, is what I then based or primed, well yeah, I suppose it's primed really, all of my models with, and then I would paint the detail on top of that, which I know some people are going to be going, what's this man doing? Get him away, take the paint away, don't let him near him again. I know that's not really the way it should be done, but that is the way that I do it, partly because I'm lazy, but I do find it easier for a second reason. So, you know. So yeah, so let's take a look at one that's been used using the spray paint. So here we have a standard tactical marine. As you can see, he's got a cybernetic arm. And I like this spray paint because it gives it this sort of shiny finish. So it does look like the armor is shining through. It actually does bring out the yellow despite all of the grit and dirt all over it. But it's still dirty, so it's sort of the best of both worlds. I'm really happy that, you know, I've got the yellow coming through, but I'm really happy as well I've got all the silver and, you know, the bronze on there that's been dry brushed on there, and it just really does bring everything out. Likewise, it also helps mute down the red and the white on the helmet, with regard to, doing the null oil. Yeah, so I'm really happy with that. It's pretty basic paint scheme: yellow, red, and white. That's it. Only a very few of them have any deviation from that, and that may just be because their armor perhaps has a little bit of detailing, which requires perhaps some green because they've got like oak leaves or something on it. So let's look at perhaps this chap here, because he's got a stand. As you notice, there's not any detail on it yet, and there probably won't be, because again, I'm not very good at freehand and I haven't got any Imperial Fist decals or stickers or whatever you want to call them. But again, I'm happy with him. He's got a little bit of battle damage here on his shoulder, and as well on his chest. You'll see he's got there the green sort of like oak leaves or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that. Like I say, he's not the prettiest, but he'll do. I would certainly say my strength lies in making as opposed to painting. So yeah, right, now let's perhaps look at one who, let's look at the Sergeant, and then we'll look at the Terminator. So here we go. Here's my Sergeant. As you can see, nice green plasma pistol energy coil there. You've got here his chainsword. He's got there the crest there with the white stripe going down. The white stripes. God, that's me showing my age. So there we go. So as you can see, the null oil just is. I am so guilty of using too much. Excuse me. I'm always like, you know, yeah, more is better, but it's not. There's a fine line between too much and not enough. And I would like to think that on these, I've perhaps struck the mark just a bit more towards too much than not enough. But it's not as drowned in it as it usually is. So there you go, guys. So that's the Tactical Space Marines. Now for the Cataphractii Terminators, and I'll only show off a couple of these again as well. So here is my Terminator Sergeant. As you can see, he's all decked out in his light, and you know, his armor, and he's got loads of, you know, livery. Is it called livery? Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, and like all of the bits and pieces. And again, it's the same sort of MO as with the rest of them. Yellow, and then getting the detail. So in this case, a lot of bronze and brass for the detailing, and then picking out, you know, any other detailing, and then getting that dry brushing that silver on, you know, and that metal grey. I love the backs of these. I love the backs of the Cataphractii Terminator armour. Just the segmented armour. It's actually making me really consider getting some Mark II armour at some point. Is this going to focus? Go on, please focus, because I'm really proud of this. Also, what's nice is when you've got a shiny undercoat, or, you know, a shiny colour, when you put null oil on it, it gives it this really greasy, oily look, which I really like. Because I just imagine power armor would be covered in, like, you know, sort of oils and stuff like that to keep it from sort of seizing up. And then here we go. Here's my standard bearer for the squad. There we go. Yeah, there we go. As you can see, he's got the little, I don't know what you would call that, but he's got it. And yeah, as you can see, again, not too much, no real detail here, just very simple. But again, I've even missed a couple bits, but you know, like I say, it's just for me, it's not for anyone else. And then there you go, and I'm just, like I say, I'm really happy with him. There we go, that's a bit better. You can see now, look, all nice and greasy on the power pack. And yeah, I'm really happy with that. I really am. I'm just really glad. I'm actually really pleased these turned out better than I thought. At one point I had some very concerned thoughts these weren't going to look, you know, they weren't going to look good enough to make me happy. There you go. I must say, for plastic kits, the amount of detail you get on these is actually phenomenal. I really must say that. Just point that out now. You know, I mean, we all know that Forge World does incredible stuff, you know, with their resin. Excuse me. A bit of hot cross bun stuck in my throat. Yeah, Forge World, of course, just do some amazing stuff with resin, and that'll never be taken away from them. You know, I don't think they're ever going to, you know, their sculpts are never going to be anything less than, you know, perfect. The quality of the kits you get, on the other hand, maybe a bit here or there, but the actual sculpts themselves are beautiful. But of course, GW releasing Plastic Horus Heresy, there were murmurs, people going, well, we're just going to see now a load of substandard Horus Heresy era models on the tables. I must disagree with that. I really must, I think, because, and that may be a slight straw man, but because, you know, to other people, because they may not have heard that, but I did hear a couple people in certain circles, you know, sort of bemoaning, you know, the fact that we're going to be bringing out Plastic Horus Heresy stuff. But you know, once you hold them in your hand, once you see them, the amount of detail on them is really impressive. They really, I mean, like you may not be able to see here, but on the lightning claws here, the amount of detail, you know, they've managed to capture. You know, like with all the joints on the knuckles and the fingers, you know, and all this sort of armour, you know, all this sort of armour detail here, etc., etc. It's really good, especially on the back as well. You know, it's not as good as Forge World, but it's pretty damn close. You know, so well done, G-Dubs. You know, you've done a cracking job there. I'd certainly, you know, I'm going to certainly pick up some more of these kits when I got some cash together, because they look fantastic. So guys, there you go. That's it really. That's just a quick look at what I've been doing. I am, like I say, really happy with these, how they've turned out. and I hope you like looking at them too. They're nothing overly amazing, as I've said before. Like I say, I'm not the best painter, would never claim to be, but I hope you can see why I'm happy with them, at least. And also I apologise they're not based properly. I will be doing that. So there you go, guys. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Thank you again for all the kind comments and stuff like that. Apologies again for the video being late, but hopefully I should have my one out on Friday as usual, or maybe have another one out in between then. Ooh, who knows? Anyway, thanks very much, guys, for watching. Have a good one. Please, stay safe and look after yourselves, and I shall see you on Friday. Keep on model making, keep on painting, building, sticking together, playing them more games, and I will catch you later. Peace out, guys. Bye bye.